Welcome back. Fifth Corner, episode 3. 3 whole episodes. Good start. Good start. We're excited to be back with you guys today. I am live from Abingdon, Virginia. We will get to that in a little bit why I am in Virginia, but excited to be joining you guys today. Obi, still back in New York, I assume?
I am, yep, humble abode here in good old Albany.
There it is.
Brought on the nice little straw hat that I got in South Carolina on a vacation with you. Always going to do a little something a little bit goofy at the beginning, give
There
viewers
you go.
something to laugh at right away. We're going to take that right off though and put on the regular
Yeah,
hat.
there you go. Ooh, I've seen that hat. I do like that hat. That little
I know it,
white,
Marshalls,
white navy.
$8.
Yeah, yeah. I think I might have actually prefaced that already on the show. I'm not sure if that was off camera or on camera, but either way, I actually didn't know you bought that hat. It's a nice little straw hat. I forgot about that. Like I
Yeah,
didn't
that
remember
was.
you had.
I mean, this hat was. I mean, we were still
Oh,
definitely in high school.
or you said the craziest fucking hair situation going on there at the beginning.
Oh,
That was so funny. It's all right. Yeah, yeah. All right,
some
but
of the
yeah,
viewers
I
to
mean,
laugh at a little bit, but yeah, I like this hat.
no, it's a
Always
nice
thought it was a
hat.
nice little hat.
I
Haven't
think
worn it
yeah,
much. I think I just found it deep in my closet, but wanted
fair.
to pull it
I
out for
think
something for the viewers to laugh at.
I think it goes a little bit better with the kind of like Southern lifestyle, being down south,
Oh,
you
right.
wearing that
Right.
around versus trying to wear that in upstate New York. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know if
100%.
it has the same appeal.
100%.
All right. But yeah, a couple announcements we have just before we start to kind of get to you guys. First and foremost, I actually almost forgot this, just popped into my brain just now. We have a Google form now set up for you guys to submit your questions prior to the recording of each episode that may or may not be referenced on that episode when we get to our questions from the fans. That is on Linktree that we have that also has um, our TikTok and our YouTube, and very shortly our Spotify will be on there as well once we get that up and running for you guys. But the Google form can be found in our link tree that can be found in my Instagram bio at GabeCap_. And yeah, you guys can submit your questions, and hopefully we'll get to any and all that we can at the end of each episode when we do the questions. So that's the first announcement. Second announcement, as I kind of just referenced, the Spotify, the audio only, which is how I like to consume podcasts. That'll be up very shortly. Um, Probably episode 5. We're on episode 3 right now. We just are waiting for the proper equipment to come in, the headset and the mic, because we want to make sure we're giving you guys the best product that we can when it's audio only. So we don't want to beat around the bush. We want to make sure that it sounds good, and so yeah, that'll be coming soon. And last announcement, Sunday at noonish or 11:30ish is when we'll be recording every week, and then we'll be putting some final touches on it, and then sending it out to you guys by hopefully usually Sunday nights. But next week will be a Monday night recording, because I'll be coming back from my trip, which we'll be touching on again, like I said, later. And yeah, and that's just the one announcement. A little bit of change to the schedule next week, but Sundays is when we will be recording. Yeah. So any announcements from you, Obi? Anything new, or you want to get us started with some of your of the weeks as we've been
Yeah,
starting?
I'll get us started with some of the weeks. I got a couple good ones here this week.
All right. Yeah.
So I'm gonna start off with the snack of the week. Snack of the week.
Mm,
So Girl Scout cookie time.
okay.
My mom bought a bunch from her friend's daughter or whatever, little Girl Scout. And I'm not the biggest fan of. Well, I wouldn't say I'm not a big fan, but Thin Mints, not in my even like top 3.
Okay.
Frozen Thin Mints are the best
Ooh.
thing I think I've ever had.
Okay. All
I
right.
threw them in the freezer. They're
Mhm.
insane. They're absolutely
Wow.
insane. My personal favorite cookie is just the Samoas. I'm not even a
Okay.
big coconut guy, but I love
Mhm.
the Samoas. But Thin Mints out of the freezer, maybe a couple hours in there, chilled. It is delicious. I had a few this morning actually, and they're good. They're good, Gabe. Have you ever tried?
I honestly have never been. I honestly like. I'm so like Girl Scout cookies are kind of not in my repertoire. They've never really been in my
Oh,
repertoire. I'm not gonna lie. It's not even that I like have. Like I've had a couple here and there. My sister used to sell them
yeah.
back in the day. My younger sister, when she was a Girl Scout or
She
Brownie
was a
or whatever
scout.
they're called. Yeah, I don't exactly know I thought they called the Brownie. Is that just a type of Girl Scout? I'm not exactly sure, but they
I
sell
don't. I'm
Brownies.
not too familiar with the Girl Scout lingo, but I am familiar
Yeah,
with
I
their
don't know if they
cookies.
sell brownies or if they're just called they have a brown sash and that's why they're called that. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know, but
maybe.
either way, I know, but I swear she sell cookies, but one way or another, regardless. um, she would have Girl Scout cookies around, whether it's from her, colleagues or whether it's
Yeah.
from her. I'm a huge I don't exactly know what they're called, but I like the peanut buttery one. There's one with peanut
Yeah,
butter.
I think they're maybe Dosey Does. I think they're Dosey
I
Does.
don't I don't know, honestly. I can't remember. Is it
Maybe.
Tagalong? Is that a cookie?
Oh, maybe it's
Tag
tag. It could be tag along. Could be tag
Yeah,
along.
I don't know, but I'm very rookie to the Girl Scout cookie game. Thin Mints I think I would like. I mean, I love chocolate and
I mean,
mint
they're
flavor.
warm. They're a good cookie. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're a good cookie. They're top 3 in the league. But
Okay. Yeah.
Frozen, I think they're MVP back to back years. They're
Yeah.
fucking delicious.
I mean, to be totally honest with you, I don't think I've ever had a Samoa. Like actually ever in my life.
Oh, they're
I
good.
like
I'm like newly into the coconut realm, like getting on the almond joys. Used to hate almond joys.
oh, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a
I
huge
fuck with
not
them
a
now. I
huge
fuck with
almond
them
joy
now
guy.
though.
So do you
They're
like would you
good.
like
They're good.
I'm not a huge coconut guy either, so Whoppers is coconut, right?
See, I don't even know. If I've ever seen a
Maybe
Whopper, I've
not.
instantly thrown them in the garbage.
Yeah, maybe
Whoppers
they
were
are.
never my thing.
Yeah,
I
I don't
don't
know.
think they are, but I think they're just trash.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not even sure. I don't know if I've ever actually successfully put down a Whopper either. So
Yeah,
either
they were
way,
definitely in my Halloween candy reject bag for sure.
yeah, not to be confused with the BK Whopper, which I have had a few of those in my
Oh,
time,
and
and those
those are
are
fucking delicious. Those are
yeah, those
absolutely
are
good.
those are very, very solid. But yeah,
BK,
anyway,
they are the king of burgers. I'll tell you that. I like a good Burger King
I
burger.
I've underrated Burger King for a long time, and the reason I
Hmm.
kind of became more familiar with their game was because in Southie, where I live now,
Yeah.
I there's like very, very few fast food places. It's a
Mhm.
lot of just like restaurants, like nice restaurants
Yeah.
that people open there. But BK is like one of the only major fast food chains that's actually like within my, walking distance,
Right.
shouting distance of my apartment and my friends' places. And so I've kind of been to BK more than I have. I've been to BK more in the last like 2 months than I've been to BK the rest of my life before
In your
that.
life, yeah.
I never really went to BK, and I always kind of just like wrote it off because I was like Wendy's is
Mhm.
good, McDonald's is good, like BK is just
Yeah.
kind of like the awkward third cousin. But like quite frankly, like it's actually pretty decent. Like I
It is.
and
It
I
is. The
enjoy it.
chicken fry is real good.
They also have like snack wraps, basically, like the equivalent to like McDonald's snack wraps.
Oh, really?
But they're very solid. Like I like they just have like chicken. They're different chicken ones. There's like a honey mustard one. There's like a buffalo one. There's like a one that has no real sauces, like just maybe just mayo.
Yeah.
But they're good. I mean, like I like I'm a huge wrap guy. I like wraps a
Yeah.
lot.
You are a
Whether it's
rap
like
guy.
Caesar wrap or like one of those snack wraps, like wraps are just
Hmm.
really good. But anyways, yeah, I mean the Thin Mint, and we got down a rabbit hole there, but
Yep.
the Thin Mint, I
Frozen
mean, could
Thin Mint
yeah.
snack of the week.
That's honestly that's a good pick. I got to get more familiar, like I said, with the Girl Scout cookie game, so I'll definitely try that out.
Very good. Very
Is
good.
and you said it's Girl Scout season. I didn't really know they had a
I
season.
don't know if they actually have an actual season, if they only sell them certain times of the year, but we got a whole bunch of them. My mom forgot the Samoas, so Thin Mints kind of rose to the top of the list.
Mhm.
Frozen, great. I love them.
There you go. Perfect. All right, yeah. So from there, I'll take you to a little just a general shout out of the week. I'll kind of go in reverse order. I'll give you my song last.
Okay.
I have two shout outs actually, so I'll give you both of them, and then I'll give you guys my song of the week later. Um, my shout outs are one, the game Skee Ball. The game Skee Ball, I'm gonna give a quick shout out to.
Okay.
I feel like that is a lost art, maybe a forgotten art in today's society. And not only Skee Ball, but just general barcades and arcades, I
Yeah.
think are just awesome. Like
It's a good
just a
time.
great time. I mean, it is a fucking money jacking, to
Oh,
be quite honest.
absolutely. You could
I
you
mean,
could you could throw down 50 and never even know about it.
oh my god, easily. Especially when you're going to like those like kind of especially like the commercialized arcade
Mhm.
places like the D&Bs, like they have good deals and stuff like that, but they just suck you right on in. Like it's just
Yeah.
like it's hard to get out of that spin zone of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna load money, like real money onto this like card that has like
Mhm.
fake currency that you can spend on games. And then it's like when you're playing the games, like you don't realize you're like spending a couple dollars each to play
Yeah.
them because fake points or money or whatever. And you're
Right.
like, oh, I'm just like whatever, like the money's gone, like it's a sunk cost kind of thing. So it's like I just like you can spend so much money there, but general like Skee Ball and like arcades like that is something that crossed my mind this week, and they're just a great
Are
time.
you good at skee ball?
Okay, at Skee Ball, I'm not
I was never
like
the best.
honestly like I'm okay. My approach is so here's my thing. I try to like how there's the two top corner ones that are like 1,000 or
Of course.
whatever.
Of course.
I honestly my my strategy, I guess, if you will, if I were to play competitive skee ball,
Mhm.
would be to aim at the like, there's, like, the bottom one, which is basically you fucked up and you get in the bottom. Then there's,
Yeah.
like, 3 ones that stack up.
Mhm.
Like, the 3rd from the bottom, so not the top one of the 4, but the one right below that. I try to get as many in there as I can. If I consistently hit those, if I was actually trying to get points, I feel
Yeah.
like that's, like, my sweet spot. I can keep going on those, but then, like, I get frustrated if I don't start hitting those, and I just start fucking whipping it at the top corner, and, like,
Yeah,
it
then
doesn't
you're going for all of it in one throw, and then you're losing balls
exactly.
at that point. You're losing
Exactly.
balls.
So, yeah, but Barcades and skee ball specifically, great game, great time. That's my shout out, one of my shout outs. My other shout out is a very more personal shout out. I'll tell a kinda quick story.
Mm.
The person I was paired with to play a round of golf yesterday,
Okay.
sometimes if you're playing as a single in a golf group, or even if you have 2 or 3 guys, you might get paired with someone to play your
Mhm.
round so that the golf course can fill up the tee times. Sometimes it's awkward,
Right.
and sometimes
Sometimes
you
they're
get
a
paired with
fucking
someone
weirdo.
where it's just like, yeah, it's a tough round. But no, it was me and one other guy. We rode in the cart together.
Did you
We
catch his name?
Yeah, his name was Scott. Name was Scott.
Scott. Scott.
He was from Tennessee, and
Okay.
quite literally one of the nicest, like, stranger interactions I've
Mhm.
ever had. He was such a nice guy. He's, like, a veteran of the course that we were playing at. He was giving me a bunch of, like, little tips and tricks of each hole. He was, he was cheering me on. He was a great morale guy, great camaraderie guy. He's
Mhm.
super, super, super nice guy. Um, I can't say enough good things about Scott. At the end of the round, he even gave me a club that he said he wasn't really going to use much anymore, and was like, "Here, you can just have this to remember me by if you want to
Wow.
give it to one of your friends, because if you don't need it, but like you can just have this club." And it was like a nice sandwich. I think it was like a 56-degree sandwich. And I was like, "Are you serious?" He was like, "Yeah, like I saw you have a 54 and a 58 in your bag. If you want to fill the gap with a 56, like by all
Mhm.
means, but also like if you don't want to, like just give it to a friend. Say it's from you. I don't care." I was like, "Oh, it's so nice." Like you don't need to do that. But it's
Yeah.
just one of those just one of those people on this planet where you're like, "Wow, there's a
Yeah. Just a
great."
genuine guy.
Yeah, so shout out
Shout out
Scott.
Scott. Shout out Scott.
Yeah, great guy. What do you got?
So I'm gonna give a shout out. It's kind of the moment of the week too, moment of the weekend, I guess. But I'm gonna give a shout out to UFC fighter Max Holloway.
Mhm,
He won the BMF title last night from Justin Gaethje. BMF
mhm.
is baddest motherfucker. I guess it's a legit title. Like
Okay, yeah,
it's
I
not
I had
like
no idea.
it's
Not
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 you're at
very
the
well
top of the
versed.
weight class or whatever, but like it's legit. Like it's 5 rounds, a legit title and everything. Max Holloway went up a weight class to fight this guy, and Justin Gaethje was number one contender in his division to Islam, like who's the title right now.
Yep.
And Max Holloway went in there and broke his nose in the first round, like punched him right in
Wow.
the face, broke his nose, and he's gushing. And then Max Holloway controlled the entire fight. Like Justin
Okay.
Gaethje had some nice like leg kicks or whatever. Max Holloway's legs were like definitely swollen, but Holloway controlled the fight, got a great few hits in the first round, second round, yeah, and he was just yeah, you could
Good
see
scenery
Gaethje's
right
nose
here.
just completely messed up. And then when it
Yeah.
gets down to 10 seconds here, I mean, Max Holloway was just like, "Fuck it, like get in the ring, let's duke this thing out." Yeah, just watch as they go. Yeah, and just
Wow, yeah.
clean out at the 1 second. Like that's the longest fight you can have with seeing a knockout. It was insane.
Yeah, I
Everybody
mean,
was on their feet watching.
I believe it. Was it in
Sure.
Vegas?
I don't know where it was actually, but it was UFC 300. I would assume it was probably in Vegas. It was the
Okay.
definitely the biggest card of
Okay.
biggest card of all time. Definitely
Okay,
in
yeah,
Vegas.
alright, so it was in Vegas, we're hearing. Yeah, no, I honestly, again, like, UFC I like watching UFC, don't get me wrong,
Mhm.
but it's not one of those sports, like, you definitely are more well-versed in it than I am. Like, I don't know how often this happens, but it does feel pretty rare that there's, like, a kinda, like, almost like a buzzer beater knockout
Oh,
situation,
that
like, I
yeah,
feel like
that doesn't. I mean, like that maybe, but especially at the last round, like sometimes people will do that, like go to the side of the ring and just duke it out. But most of the time, it's with 10 seconds, so nobody gets knocked out in 10 seconds. Like
Right, right.
knock somebody guy out in like 4 minutes and 59 seconds in the fourth round. I've never seen that. But
Yeah,
Max
that's
Holloway, before coming into this fight, had never been knocked down in a fight, like hit in the head and knocked down. He's never been
mhm,
finished either. So Justin
wow.
Gaethje did hit him once and knocked him down, so that was his first time getting knocked down. But I mean, he controlled the fight. He broke his nose in the first round right away. Gaethje had to protect his face. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
Max Holloway
yeah,
would just get light jabs and his nose would start gushing again. So shout out Max Holloway. He went up a weight class, won the baddest motherfucker title.
yeah.
Just shout out him. That was crazy.
So,
I don't think many people had Holloway in that fight at all.
yeah, yeah. I mean, shout out Max Holloway. That did seem like an electric fight. I didn't get a chance to watch, but I did get to see some of the. I mean, it was all over social media
Oh
like
yeah.
the last 2 so I did see that, but it's definitely. I wasn't aware of like kind of like the background and the
Mm-hmm.
BMF title. So that's definitely shout out Max. That you always like an underdog story if he was not the one that was kind of
For
favored
sure.
to win that. Yeah,
For
but
sure.
so I have a last. I actually have a I have a I have another kind of shout out, but I like to title this the 10-time MVP OTY, the
Okay.
most valuable pillow of the year, the 10-time most
Ooh.
valuable pillow of the year. It's just gonna go to the hotel pillow. I I
Yeah.
have I have no idea where they get those pillows, but I swear you can't just buy them on the regular market. Like
No, you cannot. Oh my god, no.
I swear you can't just like find those at a Target or at a Bed Bath and Beyond or any of your, retail stores.
Right.
Like I slept in a hotel on what day is today? Today's Sunday. I slept in a hotel on Friday night on my way
Mm-hmm.
down to my trip, and I just
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what those. It literally is like a cloud, like it's even softer. Maybe I don't know what a cloud exactly feels like. I like literally I can't even, like, begin to describe to you how good of a sleep I get every time I'm in the hotel.
Yeah.
And I just, like and they're so soft, I can just get, like, 4 of those things or 5 of those things and just, like throw
Surround
myself
yourself.
onto
Yeah.
it, and
Surround
it's
yourself.
just, like, amazing. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. So, yeah, 10-time most valuable pillow of the year winner goes to the hotel pillow. I can't say enough about them. I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't know if you can find them on the market. You could definitely we've had we actually took one
We
from a
did. We
place
did.
we
I was gonna
stayed
bring
at,
that up. We
a
both
while
did.
back. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they gotta have a bunch. I mean, they need to start sharing them with the public. Like, I feel bad
They do.
about with that, but it's just
I
like
mean, we're paying a lot of money to go enjoy your resort. At least
oh,
do it.
yeah,
Give us a pillow to
absolutely.
go.
Yeah,
Give us a
100%.
pillow to go.
100%. So,
No, I like that
yeah,
take.
any sort of hotel pillow, just unbelievable shout out. So the last thing that I have, and then you can kind of finish up with whatever you have for the of the weeks, and then
Mhm.
we're gonna move into some week recap, and then get into our segments slash bring our guest on, who we're very excited to have on today.
Yes, we are.
Um, my SOTW, my song of the week, if you will.
Mhm.
We're actually throwing it back here a little bit. Well, pause. We're actually we're a little bit of a throwback from this side today. We're gonna do a little Daryl and John Oates song, one
Okay.
that I'm sure we all probably have heard, or if not fans of already. You make my dreams come true. Come true is in the parentheses, but
Mhm.
unbelievable good vibe song.
It
Song I
is.
listened to a lot on my long car trip when
Mhm.
I was driving down south from Boston this weekend. Just an amazing oldie that is timeless. I mean, there's a bunch of those oldies that are timeless. Yeah, right here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and he's a funny looking guy too, with his
Oh,
afro and
absolutely.
his mustache. Very funny looking guy.
Yeah,
But I
like
mean, that is a great song. I mean, you're making my dreams come true. Come on, you're making my
absolutely.
dreams come true. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You see, like that.
Yeah,
That is an instant classic. If you're not
yeah.
bopping around to that when that comes on, who the hell are you?
And it's like, and it was like a situation. It's a little warmer down here than it is up north, obviously, right now. And like, it was a
Yep.
nice, nice warm Saturday morning, driving to the golf course. It was like a nice, like hour and a half long drive ish. And it's 70 degrees, windows are down on the highway, music all the way up on the stereo. And it's just like,
Yep.
that song is just a great vibe song. So yeah, that's my
It
song of
is.
the week. A little oldie this week for you guys. Go ahead, Obi. What do
I'm
you got?
for my song of the week. I'm also going back.
Okay.
Um, Your Love by The Outfield. I
Oh, that's
don't wanna
another good song.
lose your love tonight.
Yeah, unbelievable song.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's probably it's one of my go-to oldies. If I need an oldie and I just want it on something to vibe to on the radio, I'm putting that on. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean this guy is I don't even know his name, but I mean
Yeah, I
he
don't
gets
either.
me going. He
Oh my
absolutely gets
god,
me
yeah.
going. I know the
Oh
band
my
is The Outfield, but I don't know the singer's name at all. But sorry, lead singer of The Outfield, we do apologize, but shout out you because that
yeah,
song is an absolute
shout out
bopper.
the lead singer of the Outfield. Oh, yeah, another great vibes guy, another classic oldie. Actually, that's funny you mentioned that because I like to think here he is, right here. What is his name? Tony Lewis. Looks like
Oh, Tony
Tony.
Lewis. So, shout out
Yeah,
Tony Lewis. Sorry about
yeah,
it.
yeah. Absolutely. I think I mean I think you know this very well. Like, I take pride in my music curating
You do.
abilities, if
You
you
do.
will.
Yeah.
I love being on aux for like parties
Yep.
and you know any sort of function like that. I like being able to make music to fit the vibe of things. I have a million playlists. If you guys want to check it out, I think it's Gabe Cap 3 on
Mhm.
Spotify. Maybe Gabe Cap 8, but I think it's Gabe KP3. Check me out. I got a bunch of playlists on there. I got color coded playlists for album
I was
covers. I
gonna
got
say, yeah, you did the color playlist. That was one of
yeah,
the
yeah.
most the craziest things I've ever seen. Where you were like, yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
did it by
love that.
album cover. Very interesting. Very cool.
Yeah, I mean it's awesome. I love doing it. But I made a playlist like about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, called Sun is Shining. It's just basically about like the weather's getting warmer. It's like a
Yep.
spring summer intro. Like you can start listening to music with the windows down. And that exact song, Your Love by the Outfield, is
Mhm.
on my list right here
Yep.
on my phone of that. But yeah, no, I mean
Yeah.
check me out on
Absolute great
Spotify.
song.
Like I said, I do love making music and like as we just talked about, I have a bunch of album cover playlists. You got some green, some purple,
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
yellow. So
Yeah.
I mean,
But
there's a bunch of colors. So
that is the song of the week. Shout out your love. Shout out the outfield. Shout out Tony Lewis, and shout out Josie being on a vacation far away.
oh,
It's
absolutely. I mean,
it's an absolute
good
bop.
for good for
Good for
her being
Josie.
on
Yeah,
vacation like that
she
far
needed
from
it.
here.
She needed it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, work. She was reaching out to me and saying that work was stressing her out recently.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Exactly.
so it's good for
Exactly.
her, honestly. And no, I don't. I wouldn't want to lose her love.
Who would?
Yeah, yeah. No,
She sounds like a fantastic lady.
yeah, absolutely. So it's a great shout out of the week, great song of the week for from you there. Shout out Tony Lewis, shout out the outfield, shout out Josie. So anything else from you? I'm good honestly of my other weeks here. I don't know
I
if
am
you have
good on
anything.
my of the weeks. I want to hear about why exactly you are down in Virginia.
Yeah, yeah. So that's yeah. So for those that don't know already, I'm actually so I mentioned in the first episode I am employed as a high school educator. And one of the perks of having a job like that is that you get time off, like not you don't have to request it. You get February break. Well, the breaks are kind of different depending on where you are. But in the Northeast, where we went to high school and where I live now in Boston, the schedule is pretty similar. You have like your Thanksgiving, a couple days off around there. There's a couple of Mondays, Fridays here and there around holiday weekends. You have winter break, which is basically just like from Christmas to New Year's. But then the two like kind of big ticket ones are February break, where you get a
Mhm.
week off in February, usually in the middle of the month, and then the same thing, middle of the month in April, you also get another week off for spring break. Um, and yeah, so I mean, I'm trying to take advantage of that time off.
Mhm.
Basically just free PTO. You know what I mean? And um, so in February, I went to South Carolina with Obi here, and and then yeah, and then this break, I decided I was going to go on a nice golfing trip, a nice golfing road trip, golfing 5 states in about 8 days, which I'm very excited about. Today's an off day for me. I'm not golfing today,
Mhm.
but yeah, I started yesterday in Virginia. My family lives in Virginia, so I'm staying with them right now, and I'm staying with them until Wednesday, and commuting to the golf courses for the beginning of the week. So yesterday Virginia, today Sunday I'm off. Tomorrow I'm in North Carolina,
Oh, how far is that
and
drive?
about hour 15 from here.
Oh,
It's
it's not
not that
bad.
bad.
Not bad.
It's in it's gonna be right near Appalachian State University. It's kind of
Yep. Okay.
northwest of North Carolina. So that'll be about an hour 15 both ways. But that course is beautiful. Can't wait to play it.
Mhm.
And then Tuesday, the day after that, I'll be in Tennessee, Johnson City, which will be like a 50-minute drive, 45, 50, not bad. And
Mhm.
then Wednesday's a travel day. I'm traveling up to New Jersey, getting back up north, staying with my friend from college, my longtime roommate in college, great guy. I'm staying with him Wednesday and Thursday. We're golfing together on Thursday, and then me and him plus a few others are meeting up for kind of a celebratory last leg of the trip, weekend away in beautiful Newport, Rhode Island. Love
Mhm.
Newport. So I'll be golfing
Absolute
there on Saturday.
great town. Newport is insanely fun. I've never played any golf in Newport, but just the city itself, it's absolutely great. No
Yeah,
complaints about Newport.
I can't wait to that's gonna be such a nice last leg because like there's so many fun things to do there.
Mhm.
And like I can't wait, and I'll be with a bunch of other friends. So that'll be a lot of fun. The course there in Newport, I'm actually like I'm the most excited about that one. It's
Yeah.
a links course, which if people aren't familiar with golf, the term links course kind of refers to like there's no like woods. Like everything is wide open. You can see
Okay.
everything.
Hmm.
And but there's like a lot of tall, wispy grass and like pop bunkers that go like it's almost impossible to hit straight out of them. You have to just
Yep.
basically lay up and chip out.
Hmm.
Um, it's a LPGA course, I believe. Like it's a really nice PGA. Yeah, see, it's wide open. Like everything is wide open. And it's like it's a challenging course. Links courses are tough because there's not a lot of hazards. Like there's no water really,
Yep.
and like it's really really open as you can see kind of by this like the view. Like you're not gonna get caught up in like woods or anything like that. And
Yeah.
so it's
Kind of
like
reminded me of Lazy Links from
right,
Fortnite. Nice and
right,
open.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not as much tall grass, but definitely
Right.
the same amount of definitely similar to that. But yeah,
Mhm.
no, the tall grass when you get in there for links courses though, it is very challenging to get out of there. It's basically
Right.
like it's up to like your knees. And so
Oh
like
yeah, that'd take me 4 or 5 shots to get out of for
I'd
sure.
almost rather hit from the woods. Like
Right.
and just try to punch out than hit
Yeah.
from grass that's up over by your knee or trying to just like
Right.
chop it out of there. So it's one of those courses where distance honestly doesn't really matter that much. It's really just
Hmm.
about if you can hit the fairway
Straight.
and
Yeah.
give yourself a couple chances to, hit a green and do well. So yeah, so my first stop was yesterday. I golfed with Scott as we talked about earlier. That was in
Yep.
Virginia. I played pretty well. I'm starting to get pretty decent at golf. I've been practicing a lot. Last summer was when I like really kicked into overdrive. I was golfing all the time, and like I said, as a educator, like I'm gonna have summers off for a couple months too, here and there. So
Mhm.
like golf is definitely something that for the rest of my life I'll be very interested in continuing to do. So
Right.
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. So yeah, I'm in my grandfather's office in their Virginia home. I do love it here. It's really cozy. Obi's been here before.
Yep.
Office is absolutely like they went to both my grandparents went to Virginia Tech. Um so I mean this is and they're huge fans. And so of like their football team and just the school over itself. My grandpa's one of those like diehard Virginia Tech football fans. Like goes to
Right.
like
Very.
away games when he can, home all the home games. Like they have season tickets. Like, and this entire office is just absolutely like filled up. It's hard to tell exactly from here. I mean, there's some mugs behind me
Yep.
that
I
are
see him.
Virginia Tech, but like, I mean, they have a helmet. They have a Michael Vick signed football. Like, I mean,
Yep.
Michael Vick obviously off the field had some issues, but a Virginia Tech legend on the football
Mhm.
field. Um, and yeah, they have just like unbelievable amounts of Virginia Tech merch here, so it's like it's crazy. But yeah, no,
And I do like the way your grandpa talks about his town in Abington. He loves that place. He really does.
no, he does. I
Every
mean, that's
every time I'm there, he's got something new to share, a new reason why it's probably the best town in America. And
yeah. I
I'll
mean,
sit there and listen to him because he I'm not gonna say it's not. I mean, it's a beautiful little town,
oh
but
right,
just the way he speaks about it, it's like, holy, this guy loves this place. Like I love
oh
where I live,
absolutely,
sure, but I'm not
right.
telling everybody the best things about it every time. Like he'll sit you down and be like, "This is why it's the best damn town in America," and you're gonna
Oh
sit there and
yeah,
you're gonna listen to me,
oh
and you're like, "All right, I'm
absolutely,
gonna listen."
absolutely. I mean, yeah, like it's great to love where you live as much as he does. I don't know if I've ever like you said, I like living in South D. I like where we grew up for the
Right.
most part. Like, but yeah, I don't think I have that level of passion. Like
Yeah, right, right.
it's different gravy when you're talking to him about that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, shout out Abingdon. I do love it here. I always get reminded. I was actually talking to I don't remember who I was talking to. I was talking to someone about this yesterday when I was driving to golf and then meeting that great guy Scott on the golf course. There's
Yep.
something about like I've always been a northern kid. I love the Northeast. I don't know if I'll ever leave the Northeast. Um, but there's something about when I visit down here where everything just seems so, like, slow, like, everyone just seems like they're chilling, they're relaxing, like, even on, like, work days, like, everyone seems so cheery and jolly and, like, the hustle and bustle of living in Boston is just, there's nothing like, when you go down here and you're going to, like, a more rural area, like, there's
Mhm.
just, like, no like, it's so just, like, relaxed, like, I feel like I can take,
Right.
like, a deep breath, so it's not a bad spot. I like coming down here to just kind of, like, kick my feet up, keep to myself, see my family,
Absolutely. I think one of the craziest things I've ever heard anybody say was when your grandma said when she gets up to go to work early in the morning, like
Mhm.
7 a.m., 8 a.m. whenever she goes into work. She said probably like she said maybe a 5-10 minute drive or whatever. She says she probably fast passes 3 to 4 cars in total on the way to your drive.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. I mean, and our town's like sure it's populated or whatever, but it's not like crazy populated. But I drive down my street, I see 4 cars before I even pull out of my street.
Oh,
Like to see
100%.
four
Yeah, no,
cars in your entire
1,000.
drive, that's
Yeah,
nuts. So that just shows how laid back that town is. Everybody's just they're kicking their feet up. They're kicking their feet up, relaxing.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no, that is I do remember her saying that actually. I forgot about that too. She brought that up. But yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I mean, I believe it. Like driving around here, it's just like
it's like, does
there's
anybody
nothing.
live here? It's like
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like but then they talk about how like it doesn't seem like a kind of like a crazy like nightlife place, but there's a couple little like saloons and taverns or whatever the hell
yeah,
they want to call it. And
yeah,
like they look
salute.
nice and stuff, but like it's just people kind of walking on the road. Like there's no real cars. Like there's one town center that has like a ton of stuff in it, but like other than that,
Right.
it's kind of just like it's kind of relaxed. So yeah, that's kind of that's why I'm where I am, and I'll be. That's kind of also why the episode next week will probably be on Monday. Just
Hmm.
scheduling wise, I'll be coming back from Rhode Island to Boston, which isn't that far of a drive, but just with
Right.
scheduling, with everything, we want to make sure we can sit down and have the time to properly do this for you guys. So episode 4, like I said, will be on Monday. Even though we'll be recording Sundays for the most part, pretty much always, unless we let you guys know. But yeah, that's pretty much what we got for the first part of the show. We have
Yeah.
one thing to do real quick, a little segment we're gonna do before we introduce our guest into the fold. Like I said, we're very excited to have him on, tell his unique story, and kind of have him join us for the second half of the episode here. But one little segment we're gonna do right before we get into that, we're gonna do a little guess the athlete. So I picked a athlete from the big four American sports, we would say, MLB, NHL, NFL, and NBA. And
Hmm.
Obi did the same. He picked an athlete as well. We don't know each other's athletes. I'm gonna just so you guys can kind of like play along and like see who we picked and like understand why we're answering questions the way we are because we're gonna be asking each other yes or no questions. I'm gonna close my eyes and the people in the back, our lovely producers, are gonna pull up Obi's athlete when I close my eyes, and then we'll switch and you'll give me the heads up when that's off the screen so I can open my
Yeah.
eyes, and then we'll switch, and then you'll close your eyes. So I'm gonna close my eyes right now. We're gonna pull up Obi's athlete that I'll be trying to guess with my yes or no questions.
Here is
Uh,
my athlete.
all right, Obi, you'll give me the heads up.
I will give you the heads up. You are good to look.
I'm good to look. All right.
You are.
All right.
And
Okay,
now
here we
I
go. So yeah,
will I will do the
Obi,
same.
close your eyes, and we will have the people pull up my athlete. So yeah, the kind of premise, my athlete is currently up there. Keep them closed, O'Brien, and then you are good. All right.
All
So
right.
the premise is it's just going to be yes or no questions. There's no, I guess, limit to the number of questions. Hopefully, this doesn't take an incredibly long time.
Yeah.
And hopefully, you guys at home have. I mean, look. I mean, I know we have some sports fans that probably watch this. Some of them probably don't, but we'll do our best to kind of paint the picture with our questions, and maybe you guys can follow along if you know the people. And yeah, it's kind of just first person to guess, first person to guess the other person's athlete wins. And like say I went first and I guessed it, Obi would get a chance to rebuttal because he
Right.
went after me. So I,
Just a
I
second
actually
before we start here, Gabe. This is on me, a little unprepared. No idea where the hell I put my notepad to keep my
oh,
notes.
no worries. Yeah, grab it. Yeah. So basically just the yes or no questions. Like I said, there's no real limit to it, but I'll start, and when I kind of guessing Obi's person, I'm actually gonna pull up right now on my phone here. Um,
Oh, God,
some
got my
some
notes.
just general knowledge of this person. I know a lot about him, but just in case he asks a question that I need to kind of freshen myself up on. All right, so Obi, I'm gonna start and just ask a
Okay.
yes or no question. I got my little piece of paper here to write down some of the stuff I asked. So I'll start with this. You said it was Big Four sports. Okay, does he play or does this athlete play a sport that has a fully round circular ball?
He does not. No.
Okay. So it's not basketball, or baseball. Okay. Oh, but you go ahead and ask a question.
I'm gonna try and snipe the sport right away. Does your athlete play basketball?
He does not play in
Ah,
the
okay.
NBA.
Bad
No,
start.
he does not play in the NBA. Okay. Does your person play in the NFL?
He does.
National
He
Football.
does.
Okay, so it's a football player. Okay. Okay, you go ahead.
I might have to steal your question here.
Okay.
Is it a perfectly round ball?
It is not a perfectly round ball. It is not a
Okay, so
perfectly round ball.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, so it's not an NBA player as we mentioned, and it is
Yeah,
not
I'm thinking we might be in the same sport here.
it's possible. So my question for you, has your player, so it's we've determined it's an NFL player. Is your player a running back?
He's not a running back.
Okay, not a running back. All right.
I'm just gonna. I want to narrow it down because it could be NFL, it could be the NHL. Does your athlete play in the NFL?
Athlete does play in the NFL
Okay.
also, yes. So we actually both picked NFL players. Interesting. Okay, so my question here, does your player play offense? He's on the
My
offense side.
player does play offense, yes.
So it is an offensive player, but it's not a running back. All right. Interesting. Okay.
Is your athlete on the defensive side of the ball?
He is not on the defensive side of the
Okay.
ball. Not on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah. Does your player play quarterback?
My player does not play quarterback.
Okay, interesting. I don't know if he would. I don't think he would do an O lineman today.
Does your athlete have a max contract?
Ooh, okay, that's a good question. I'm gonna check on that. My initial guess is telling me. Hold on. My initial guess is telling me yes, but I don't know actually. Let's see. No,
He
no,
does
they do
not. Okay.
no, they do not. Yeah, no. It doesn't really surprise me, but like, no, they do not. They
Okay.
don't. Yeah. Okay. Is your player a wide receiver?
My player is not a wide receiver.
Okay. It kind of does. That kind of does help me out a little bit. I think. I mean.
I think you could be getting close, unless maybe
Yeah.
I did go the lineman route.
Yeah.
Um, is your athlete a quarterback?
He's not a quarterback. Not a quarterback.
Shit.
Is your athlete? Does your athlete play in the NFC?
My athlete does play in the NFC. Yes.
Okay. 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 All right.
Does your player play in the NFC?
No.
Okay.
No.
Jesus.
Does your athlete, by any chance, play in the NFC West?
He does. He does. He
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
Yeah.
you may be getting close. I might have to throw something out here. Is your player a wide receiver?
It is. It is a wide
Okay.
receiver. Yeah.
Okay.
Receiver.
Okay.
Um, I okay. I'm gonna get a little cocky here. I'm gonna get a little
Yeah.
cocky here. I think I know who
Yeah.
this is.
Get cocky.
Uh, is your player a tight end on the 49ers?
My player is a tight end on the 49ers.
Okay,
He
okay,
is
yeah,
he
yeah.
is a tight end.
I think I'm getting extremely, extremely close here.
Yeah, I think you're
Um,
close. I think you're close.
yeah.
I gotta get this is my shot here. I gotta take it.
You will
Um,
have if I do get it next time, by the way, you will have a rebuttal guess, just so you
yeah,
know.
right, right. Does your player play in the AFC East?
He does. He does
Okay,
play in the AFC
okay,
East. He
okay.
does play in the AFC East. That's crazy. Yeah, okay, so is your player George Kittle?
Yeah, yep, it's George. It's
Okay,
George.
yeah.
It is
George
George.
Kittle, there he is. Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, great, great tight end. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
getting no running back and then getting offense, then no QB or receiver. I was like, oh, I mean, there's only so many tight ends I feel like he would go to,
yep,
honestly.
right.
So yeah, George Kittle, great, great tight end. So you have actually a rebuttal guess here, and then if you don't get it, we'll have the people in the back pull up my guess. So you have AFC East, and
Yep.
you have what do you have? Wide receiver, I believe.
I know it's wide receiver. I think my biggest hint was honestly the not a max contract, but you thought it could have possibly be a max contract.
Yeah, I
I got
did.
to throw out a name, and hopefully it's him. Is your athlete Tyreek Hill?
It is not actually. We're gonna pull my
Mm,
athlete right now.
mm.
Right now, we have Garrett Wilson of the New York
Okay,
Jets.
okay.
Garrett Wilson of the New York
Yeah, that's
Jets.
a great player, and he's a great
I
player.
the reason I thought, I mean, he's good enough to get
He's got to
one.
be
He's
still
so
on his
young.
rookie contract, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
so young. I was like, I don't think he signed a he's actually our age. He was born in June
Holy
2000.
shit!
Yeah. Yeah, so
I mean, look at me
he's
compared to this guy. I mean,
or sorry, July 22nd, 2000. He's 23. So he's literally a couple months younger or a couple months older than me, I should say. Like
yep.
that's wild. He's already a Pro Bowl caliber star wide receiver. So,
Yeah,
uh,
and yeah, he kind of blows us out of the water on that one. Real
yeah, no.
successful at 23.
Yeah, so Garrett Wilson was my player. So, yeah, so that was a
Fair play.
fun little yes or no guessing game
Yeah, we'll bring
of
that back because I'm going to need redemption on that one. That was
absolutely.
a
We'll bring
couple
that
of other
back.
questions I could have gone. I think I could have got there a little bit quicker. Maybe trying to shout out NBA right away wasn't the best go.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I know. I mean, look, but I mean, it's a risk reward. I mean, if you hit the number
exactly.
there, I'm like,
You hit it
hey,
on the head.
it's like, oh, you're in a good spot, really good spot. All
Yes.
right, so from here, I mean, yeah, that's the first, half of our episode, I would say, kind of out of the way. Now, we're very excited. I mentioned this to you guys last week. I'm very excited because we have a guest coming on today. First guest on the channel. Very excited for that. So this is a milestone moment for us, our first guest. So we have a longtime friend of ours. Grew up in the same town as us, went to high school with us. I think I don't know if we became friends with him around the same time, Obi. But I've been pretty close to this guy since middle school. Were you Patroon? You were Patroon 1.
I was Bertram one.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We were both Patroon. I forgot that we were in our middle. It's kind of confusing. In middle school, we had like houses, like basically different, kind of like
Yep.
think of Harry Potter. They got Gryffindor. I mean, not necessarily
Right.
just like that, but kind of like that. We have Patroon 1, Patroon 2, and then Mohawk. So Mohawk was half the school, and Patroon 1, Patroon 2 were a fourth of the school. Me, Obi, and this guy were in the same house in middle school, so we became friends with him in middle school. So very excited to bring him into the fold here for the first guest on our episode. We have Ethan Roika. So yeah, I mean Roika, like I said, great friend of ours. He's gonna kind of have a unique tale to tell.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that, and I'll let him kind of tell the intricacies and the ins and outs of it. But he was on a popular game show, is where I'll kind of leave it. And I mean that's awesome. I can't even like
Right.
that's such a cool thing. That's kind of like a I don't know if everyone would say it's like a bucket list thing, but it's definitely a thing that like not everyone thinks about on like a day to
Mhm.
day. But that's
If you
so
get the
cool.
opportunity, you're taking it.
Oh yeah,
Let's put it that way.
just before we introduce him here, what do you think your game show of choice would be if you got to pick and like you can go on?
Um, well, I'm more of like the not really the nightly kind of game shows. I'm more of like the long run. I don't know if you've ever watched like
Mm.
CBS. They got like obviously Survivor, Big Brother, The Amazing Race. Um, people in the back tell oh Rikers in the
Oh
bathroom.
yeah,
That's
okay, good,
classic.
good.
Okay.
Thank you for the note from the producer. Yeah, Mr. Rugged will join us shortly. A possible emergency bathroom break or typical Gab here has to do is yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
no
but no,
problem.
no worries. I mean, he'll be joining us in just a moment here. I mean, but yeah, keep going, Obi, with your.
My actually we the other day, maybe last Sunday or whatever it was, I came home from work and my mom was watching the Amazing Race, a CBS show.
Mhm.
Have you ever heard of it? Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she turned to me and she goes, we could do this. I go, you think we could get on the Amazing Race? Like, how do you think we do? She'd be like, I think we'd do great. I watched 5 minutes of it. Those people have no idea what the hell they are doing. You're just
Yeah.
kind of you're thrown out. You got to get from one place to the other. But like you kind of do it on your own. Like it's not like you know exactly where you're going. You have to ask people like random, and they're in a random country, so like people don't speak
Right.
English all the time. So they're like, "Yeah, sir, do you know where this is? Like, please take me there." And they're like, I know how the direction. I'll get you halfway." And then they're just
Right.
like, got to figure out how to get to the end. And
Right. Yeah.
there was a mother son duo on that, and she was like, "See, like these people, we could do this." And I was like, "Yeah, that team came in last, and they got kicked off the show." So I mean, I told her
Right. Right.
I was like, hey, if you want to do it, maybe I'll send in a submission video and maybe we'll be on a season 80 because I know they've done a
Yeah.
million seasons.
Oh man, let's say similar to Survivor. There's just a million of those seasons, but
But I think that'd be pretty cool doing it with my mom. But if I had to do it personally, just me, I would go on Big Brother. Big Brother,
okay.
they live in a
Yeah.
house, fight for power and all that shit. Eliminate
I
a
remember
person
you
who
like
leaves.
the show.
I
Would
love
you
that show.
would you ever be on Love Island?
Love Island. What exactly is Love
Well,
Island again?
it's like I mean that's I don't know if that's just the British version of that, but it's basically like a it's like a dating show kind of thing. Roy, you familiar with Love Island? I know you're just joining us here. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Seen it,
Oh
but
no
familiar
mic
with.
from Roy. No mic from Roy currently. We'll see if we can get the mic sorted out.
No, I can hear him. I can hear him.
Oh, okay. Wow, I can't get. I'm not getting it. Not getting it on my end. But yeah, go ahead, Roy.
Yeah, I'm familiar with
Yeah.
it, heard of it. Never seen an episode. Don't really know. Kind of similar to Bachelor in Paradise vibes. I think.
Yeah,
I think it is. Yeah.
it's kind of like the same thing. I think if
Yeah.
I were, oh wait, do you have a guess actually? I have both of you venture guess. If I could pick what game show I would want to be on, if I could be on any like solo game show, what do you think I would say? I wonder if you guys would know this.
I'm gonna say Survivor.
Okay, Rick's going
I
Survivor.
I think maybe you're a day-to-day kind of guy. Maybe like maybe Jeopardy. Get you on Jeopardy.
Yeah, I mean, Survivor wouldn't be bad. Jeopardy wouldn't be bad either. I actually have a game show that I used to literally. It's actually a funny story. My sophomore year TV got stuck on this channel, and the remote wouldn't work. You couldn't turn it
Oh,
off.
I think I might know this, but I want to hear you go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to be on Deal or No Deal if I
Yeah.
could be on a
Yeah.
game show.
Yeah.
That's just such a fun game show. I would love to be on that. So
My
that would be my pick.
when they brought it back, now it's like Howie Mandel. It's like whatever. It was like
Yeah.
a reboot a couple of years ago. My dad like got to like the third stage of like interviewing. Like he did like a phone interview with them, and then they like had him like film like pretending he was like there. So he like set up the phone. He's like standing, like clapping, jumping up and down, like let's go. They made him like
That's
film
crazy.
that shit, and they just like totally ghosted him after that.
That's crazy. Well, I mean,
Move on.
that's like
Wow,
I mean,
that's crazy.
it looks like a family of
Yeah,
potential game
the whole
shows.
Roika clan is getting on these game shows.
My dad was on a game show like when he was in college as well. Yeah, game show
What?
called
What's
Trump
going
Card.
on?
Yeah, no, it's like a joke that like my son like gonna have to figure shit out, like get a
Oh,
game show
yeah.
at some point.
All right, so yeah, I mean, we kind of introduced it, but like, so Ethan, we have here. So he was on before we get started with that. Like, we have a little kind of easy surprise kind of segment for you. You know those? It's kind of like a this or that game. I'm gonna ask you 7 very simple questions for our fans to get to know you. You're just gonna, it's kind of like a don't think too hard kind of thing. Just answer as fast as possible of these 7 questions. All right? Easy enough. All right, here we go. First one. In terms of desserts, chocolate or gummies?
Gummy.
Okay. East Coast or West Coast?
West Coast.
Okay. Dogs or cats?
Cats.
Wow.
Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles. But French toast over both.
Okay. Wow. Interesting. Ocean day or lake day?
I'll go ocean.
Yeah. Okay.
Tough.
Spring or fall?
Fall.
Yeah, 100%. And then TV shows or movies?
TV shows.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, I like those answers. I actually think that's kind of similar to what I would say. I mean, I actually agree with the French toast over both of those. That's a good take, honestly. I feel like a lot of
That is a
people
very
would.
good take. Dave, are you also cats over dogs?
That's actually so hard. I've had a ton of cats in my life, like too many, like very many.
Right. You do have,
But
you have quite a bit of cats.
yeah, but no, it's so tough, honestly, because I like both of them. I think honestly, if I had to pick, I would probably go dogs, but it's so close. It's I love cats. Like I love cats more than the average person for sure too.
Yeah, I also am a fan of cats, except for my own personal cat. A little bit of a dick. A little bit of a dick. He is a
Yeah,
orange cat. Doesn't really. He's an outdoor cat. Doesn't really like to be pet. Does his own thing. Makes
Mhm.
weird noises when you pet him. Like he's just a little bit of a dick. A little bit of a dick. But I love him. Good guy. Do anything for him. Keep him safe. Feed him.
Yeah,
He doesn't deserve it, but-
outdoor cats scare me. I won't lie to you. I've never had an
Yeah.
outdoor cat. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll come home a couple days. I mean, he's destroying baby birds. Like, I mean,
Oh,
come on,
Yeah.
bring it to the
Yeah.
porch. It's like, come on, guy. What do you want me to do with it? Now I gotta go throw him in the freaking garbage.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So yeah, I mean, as we kind of alluded to with the game show angle, and we kind of mentioned Royka, our friend, I'm gonna call him Royka. Ethan here was on a game show. The Price is Right. And back when he went to college out west at University of Southern California, and he's gonna kind of just walk us through kind of how that came to be and kind of that story because that's definitely a unique experience. So take it away. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, first I'd just like to thank my host Gabe and Obi here, longtime viewer of the Fifth Corner podcast, first time
Yeah.
caller, but really happy
Oh,
to be here.
stop.
Thank you to the mystery man behind the scenes too. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Love your work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So as Gabe mentioned, I went to school at USC out in Los Angeles, and freshman year, I think it's November. A friend comes up to me, hey, like I'm a big Price is Right fan, watch it all the time with my family. He's like, you can just like sign up for tickets and go, and he's like, I got 8 of them for Tuesday.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm like, I got class. Like it's like early morning. I'm like, we'll be able to make it. But I walk away and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like, you gotta get back here. Like,
This is
absolutely,
right.
I can make it. Like, I'm gonna skip the class. Like, yeah, I'm there. I'm there all day. Tuesday comes around. Set an alarm. I don't know what happened. Sleep through it. Wake up to banging on my door. Like, gotta go now. Like, Uber, like waiting outside for me. I'm like, like fuck. Like, you guys could just like go maybe if I'm not gonna be able to make it. They're like, nah. Like, gotta hustle. Gotta hustle. Throw on shirt. Brush the teeth. Hop out. Barely make it. All of a sudden,
Okay.
we're in the Uber. My friend's looking at his tickets or whatever. He's like, oh, turns out I only have 7. I'm like, oh, like there's definitely 8 of us to like en route at the moment. We get there, we're like we're like too afraid to like go up to the ticket scanner guy. We're like trying to like he's like looking for a confirmation number. He's like, I swear I did 8, I swear, but like we're only seeing 7 tickets.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, like hand up, like I made us be late a little bit. Like, if they only let 7 of us in, like I'll go back. Like not a big deal.
Wow.
Like I don't really like feel any attachment to the Price is Right.
Yeah.
We
Right.
go up to the guy. We like show him the 7 tickets. He like looks at us, like counts 8. He's like, all right, like head back, like take a left. We're like, okay, like it's lax security. Could have just
Yeah.
walked in. And so I don't know how familiar you guys are with The Price is Right, but I was
Well,
not.
Yeah.
I know like whatever. Oh, I'm guessing prices. Can't go over. Trying to be close, but I never really watched the show. So when
Right.
we're like waiting in line to like be let in and like whatever, we're signing forms, like can't talk about the show, and then like I agree to be on TV if I'm in like the background or anything. Just standard stuff. Getting like those price tags that they stick
Yeah.
on you.
Yeah. Those are the
Stick
best.
on you. Yeah. And so while we're like sitting in line, they got TVs that are just like playing some reruns of the episode. So I'm like watching game film, like, all right, like let's see what's going on here. Like
Yeah.
what am I ready for? My friend that was like a big fan is like dropping some like lore on us about like history of The Price is Right. I'm like, all right. And I'm like, so like how do they like select? They just like choose random people? And he's like, no, it's this one guy who just like, quickly interviews like 10 people at once, and like he's the guy that like makes the call. And turns out he actually was a USC alumni. So we're like, like maybe that'll be a good thing. We all wore the same like USC shirts because he was like, if we come as a group, we'll be like put right in the middle and we'll be on TV for sure.
Right.
So like,
Yeah.
all right, like great. And so I'm like, all right, like maybe I should just like do some like prep work. So literally like for 5 minutes, I'm on my phone, I'm like looking up the games, and I see like an article, like a BuzzFeed article, like ranking some of the games. So I'm scrolling that. I come across Plinko. I don't know if you guys know what Plinko
Yep.
is.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You drop a thing, goes down. And I guess this is like the only game on The Price is Right that you win just like actual money. Like typically you win like like a car, a trip to Fiji, or like a stool or something. So this one you can win cash, and I'm like, all right, like cool. I guess like I know that now. And whatever. So get to the guy, group of like 10 of us. He just kind of goes down the line asking each person one question. So he's asking like my friend is major, like his hometown, whatever. Everyone's getting one question. He goes to me, he's like, what's your favorite game? I'm like, oh man, I've been studying up on this. Like, you don't even know.
Yep.
I'm like,
Perfect question.
I'm like Plinko. He's like, yeah, how come? I'm like, he wins some cold hard cash, baby. He like loves it.
Yeah.
He's eating that shit up. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, he can. Ask me
Yeah,
a
he
follow up question about like my major or something. I don't know. I was like, whatever. Tell him about my major. I'm like, yeah, biology. I'm gonna do medicine. He's like, oh, okay, like great. I'm like, all right. So like go through that. Like no like indication he's picking me still though. Just that
Right.
he like kind of liked my answer. So I'm like, all
Right.
right, like gotta ask 2 questions. Oh, like that's pretty fun. Eventually, go into like the filming place. I don't know if you guys have seen it on TV. It looks a lot bigger on TV than it is. Really not a lot of bodies there.
Hmm.
And there's this guy like telling everyone to where to sit, and he sees the big group of whatever 8 USC kids all wearing the same USC shit. He's like, yeah, like you guys are gonna go right here. Like puts us right smack in the middle. We're like,
Yeah.
ah,
Right.
great, like really excited. And we're there for like 10 minutes. All of a sudden, boom, like lights are on. Like the guy in the background's like, let's get ready to rumble, but whatever, whatever he says, let's get ready to
It's
Price is Right.
fun.
And so it's like, come on down, Jake Ferguson, come on down, Zach O'Brien, all of a sudden it's like, come on down, Ethan Roika. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like,
Wow.
shot. I could like barely even hear it because it's like they're like recording it for like TV audio and like not
Yeah.
really even like for like us to hear. So it's like hard to hear. Stand up, like deer in the headlights look, like camera on me. My friends are like pounding my chest, just like harassing me as I'm like walking towards the aisle. I get up there and I'm like baby's first time on TV. I'm just
Yeah.
looking around. I'm like, I don't know, like I barely even know Price is Right. And like all of a sudden, in an instant, they're like sticking like I'm trying to remember what the first thing I guessed on. I think it was like a set of rings or like some like jewelry collection. And they're like, yeah, like what do you think of this? Like, how many things this fucking cost? I'm like, I had no idea. I don't even remember what I guessed. Like, threw something out there. It's me versus 3 other people. Somebody wins, they do their thing, and I guess if you don't get it, you just remain up there.
Right.
So they fill in another guy. Next thing they bring out is this electric fireplace, like a gas fireplace, or so not electric, gas fireplace, and a couple like spider chairs to go with it. And they're like, all right, let's like start the bidding. First guy says like 2,200. Next guy goes like I don't know, like 2,500. Other guy's like 2,700. Basically, just all going up. Eventually, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go like $3,000. I think the guy before me did like 2,900, and I knew like you gotta another. I knew like that little bit of strategy, like one
Right,
of them,
yeah.
like a little bit. So I'm like, all right, $3,000. Although I did not think it was worth that much, honestly.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, boom, price is like 3,300. It's like Ethan Royga, like come on down again. I'm like, holy shit! I'm just like lucking into like the most ridiculous things happening to me right now. So I'm like, great. I like walk up, Drew Carey, like comedy legend up there, like shakes my hand, like clap me on the back, like great to be here. He like asked me about my major again, and I'm like so like nervous and like not even like I was like in the process of like switching my major from like 2 different things, and just I should have just said like biology, which is like what I was at that point. But I'm like, biology. I'm like planning on making a switch soon to health and human sciences. Like I'm really excited about it. Like way oversharing information. He's like, all right, like that's great. Like don't really care about it. And he's like, why are you switching? Because it's easier. I'm like, yeah. I'm like literally so scared up there. I'm like, all right. And then he's like, all right, time to play your game. And it was not Plinko, the only game I could have possibly been prepared to play. And I'm playing something else. It was called Flip or Flop. I'm playing for a trip to Alaska and like a hunting retreat, something like that. I'm like, I'm all in. I'm excited. And it was basically so it was like 4 numbers on like 2 different tiles. So it was like 6917. And you could flip the tiles to turn it to like 96 or 69 or 1771. So basically, there's 4 combinations of what the price is, and I just got whatever. I have no idea what the guess here. And so I just like kind of panic spaz, like flipping back and forth a couple times, like pretending like I'm running some numbers in my head. Eventually decide on whatever. I don't even remember what I guessed. Turned out it was completely wrong. I had to flip one, I had to flop the other, and didn't do that. So it was just totally off. He's like, all right, like you're definitely not winning a trip to Alaska. I'm like, thanks for playing. I'm like, all right, whatever. I think my time is like done at this point. I'm like walking towards the side, and all of a sudden I'm like whisked away. They like start putting like a more like I guess I don't know involved like mic setup. 'Cause before I was just like speaking like directly into the mic. Now I got like a mic in my back pocket. They're like hooking me up. They're like telling me about like other things. It's like almost like a little bit scary. They're like, oh, like you gotta make sure you're clapping. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, no, you gotta make sure you're fucking clapping. They're like, cameras on you all the time.
You got like people around you with like clipboards, like they're like really like right around you, like you gotta stay on topic here.
They're like, yeah,
always
clap.
clap, always clap.
They're like smart. They're like cameras always on you. Like if you're not like this 24/7, like you're done. You're done. I'm like, all right, like I'll be clapping. And then they sit you down in like own like private like whatever a little contestants pool, I guess, like to the side. So I'm like no longer with my friends. So I'm like isolated, still like way out of my element. That's me right there. Yeah. A little bit of foreshadowing what might be coming next. So I'm sitting here like watching the rest of the contestants go, like they're all doing their games, and I'm sitting next to this guy that while we were waiting in line, all my friends, there was this couple behind us. They were like in their 50s. They were like Price is Right super fans.
Yeah.
And they had been like 30 times to the show and had neither one of them had like ever like gotten chosen. But then it just so happened like literally like directly after me, this guy got chosen and like also won his like initial bid and so like played a game. And so he's like sitting next to me, like yapping my ear off, like talking like game film with me and strategy. Like honestly, I respect it. He was like, if you get to the showcase, you got to pass. He's like, they're always like, and don't forget to count like the tires on the car. He's like, they're always tricking you some way. I'm like, all right, man. It's like talking game film and me, like coaching me up. and I'm like trying to like I'm just like so like out of it, like
Yeah.
totally like blacking out for part of this. And eventually we get down to like all the I don't even know like all the initial standoff winners, and it's time to spin the wheel. I'm like, all
Mhm.
right, I was the first one to spin the wheel, I think, because
Mhm.
I like didn't win my game or some reason like that.
Right.
Spin the wheel. You're looking for the dollar, ranges from like $0 to $1. Get 2 spins if you want them. Nail the 95 on the first
Yeah,
one.
that's crazy.
Okay.
I'm
That's
like,
crazy.
yeah. I'm like feeling myself.
Yep.
I'm like, all right, I'm like, I'm not spinning again. End up winning the wheel thing. So end up going to a showdown. Me and this other girl, we're making it to the showdown. I'm still just cannot believe this is happening. Literally
Oh, yeah.
literally woke up like an hour ago, didn't expect to make it, didn't have the correct ticket,
Now
just
you're at the
lucking
showcase.
myself. All of a sudden I'm in the showcase, like literally
Yeah.
standing next to Drew Carey. So there's another session of like they're telling you like what to do, how to act, and like another time when they're like threatening you, they're like, yeah, like make sure like you don't get upset if you lose. I'm like, yeah. I'm like smiling, like they're like, no. They're like, you got to shake their hand if you lose. They're like, every season there's one guy that doesn't shake their hand, he gets ridiculed online. They're like, don't let that be you. They're like, don't let that be you. I'm like, wow, all right. Like, not trying to
Like,
call
I'll
him a
shake their
bad
hand.
guy. I'll shake her hand. So I got the first pick of the showcase because my fireplace that I had won that they're telling me was worth $3,300 was worth
Mhm.
more than whatever she had previously won. I think
Okay.
she won like a mini fridge or something, honestly.
Okay.
So they show the first showcase. It's a trip to New York City to Broadway, like 2 Broadway tickets and
Wow.
and like a car. I don't know. I don't remember what car it was, but pull up a car. And so I know the strategy is like you got to pass in case they guess like really high and they like screw themselves for it. Plus, I'm just like I don't know, like car prices. Like I have no idea. And plus, like I don't know, I'm from New York. I didn't really need like trip to New York City. I'm like, all right, like I'm gonna pass.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what she pulls up. She guesses like I don't know, I want to say maybe 27,000 is or something what she guesses. I'm like, all right, 27. Yeah,
Yeah, you
exactly.
nailed it right on the head.
So I'm like, all right, like cheers, like great. I don't know if that's good or not. Drew Carey like turns to me. He's like, all right, like your turn. Here's a second showcase, and it's like I don't know if they could have picked a better showcase for like a college kid like my age. It was like a flat screen TV with 2 huge like lazy boy like nice like recliner
Okay.
chairs, and
Wow.
they moved to like a hot tub with like a jets like coming out gazebo. Then finally it's a trip for two to Ibiza and like tickets to this like I don't know bar not a bar crawl thing but like a club pass like exclusive thing
Wow.
and I'm like yeah like I'm in like and then
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
like and then he's like all right like how much do you think it costs and I'm like wow I kind of forgot I had to like guesstimate the cost of this I'm just like looking at it, like oh I'm gonna go to Fiji
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and I'm like looking at my crowd I'm like trying to find my friends and like they're just like shouting like you look in the audience everyone's like doing like sign language to me like one of these I'm like I don't really know what that means
Yeah.
yelling numbers at me
It's like,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's like you can't even like think. Yeah, that's me. Like
yeah. Deer in the headlight there.
literally deer in the headlights. I'm like, all right, like screw it. 24,000. And he's like, all right. And it seemed to be the consensus of the crowd was thinking like 25,000. I was like, I
Mhm.
don't know, maybe want to go a little bit lower than that. I was also like kind of in that area anyway. So I'm like, I like 24,000. I feel confident, as confident as I could be.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, like clap it up. Everyone's feeling. And then Drew Carey turns to me. He's like, all right, like, Ethan Royka, you guess, I don't think you knew my last name, but Ethan, you guessed 24,000 or 24,000. He's like, correct. Yeah, 24,429.
That's
And I'm like,
crazy.
wow.
Crazy.
I'm like, that's pretty good.
That's a
I
snap.
Oh,
don't
yeah. Great.
watch, I don't watch you. The Price is Right to know, like, I guess in hindsight, I've now learned that would win basically like
Almost every time.
90% of
Yeah.
like showdown
Yeah. I
or
feel like being
showcases.
within being in the 1,000 like threshold is like
Yeah,
crazy.
I was just like hyped. I didn't go over. I'm like, wow, that's like pretty good. And I'm like, sweet. I'm like feeling good. You saw me like turn around, like can't even believe it. I'm like, holy crap! Like I've lucked into this. Like, am I about to win? And
Yeah,
then
I
like
know.
it goes to the girl, and Drew Carey like opens the envelope, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, and then like gives me a look of like defeat. Like he was almost like he was rooting for me, and he saw the girl score, and hers is like 20,000, like 267. Yeah, exactly. Like literally so like hers was ridiculously close too. And if you get it within $250, you win both showcases. So she was
Oh,
like very close to that.
yeah.
And I guess another strategy that my friend was like kicking himself afterwards that he didn't tell me. But apparently they like a lot of the times purposely don't make the final price like below like 250 in like of 1,000. Like it's never going to be like $24,100 because they know people often guess like an even thousand and they want people to
Right.
not win both showcases.
Yeah,
So he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I should have told you like a strategy is often to guess like $24,250,
Right.
and then like you have a more chance of getting. And if I did
Yeah.
that, I would have won. And my friend was
Yeah.
like, I should have told you that. But anyway, you could kind of see in the video there. So I'm like not upset at all at this point. Again, playing with house money and didn't think
Oh,
like I
yeah.
knew my guess was solid, but like wasn't expecting it to be like good. Really, like I didn't know it was gonna be that good. And so I'm turning to try to like high five her or not high five her, like shake her hand, and she's like going nuts. So I'm like standing there awkwardly, like
Yeah,
like,
trying to get the shake.
they're gonna kill me if I don't high five you. Like they already threatened my family and out back like previously, and she just like goes in for like a hug. She was like on cloud nine.
Yeah.
And I was like, all power to you. I just kind of full confident distance, just walk back to the
Yeah,
void.
yeah. So this is
And
on
I'm
Barstool, right?
immediately say again.
This is on Barstool, right? This is a Barstool article.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll get to the aftermath a little bit later. And whatever. So I'm like, I walk out in the void, immediately met with like a lawyer and like the woman that like I don't know, like the Vanna White of Price is Right, like that always
Yeah.
like shows the showcases. She comes up to me, she's like, you're a great guy, like, good respect. I'm like, thanks,
Right.
I appreciate it. I like met with like a couple like lawyers in suits, like whisked me away to like the back room where I'm with like the other contestants. We're all like, oh, like man, you were so close. Like we were rooting for you. I guess they were like watching it like in the back room.
Yeah.
And I still like don't know. I was like, thanks. Like, yeah, I thought I did a good job. And they're like, you were really close. And I'm like, yeah, like she was close. They're like, no, like you would have won like literally any other
Yeah.
episode this season. I was like, are you kidding me? Now I'm like starting to get pissed. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like I was that close. Yeah, you're literally always winning that. And I'm like, damn.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And then they put like whatever 15-page contract in front of me, and I'm
Yeah.
like heart's just beating out of my chest, like so much adrenaline. I'm like
Oh, yeah.
freshly like I'm like 19, like I like first time like signing contracts in my like, career.
Yeah,
Like
right.
looking down at it, I'm like, oh god, I'm like a lot of legal terms. I'm like a lot of tax information. I'm like, I don't know how to pay I don't know how to pay game show taxes in California. I don't even live in the state. Whatever.
Right.
And just signing all that shit. And I get like get a folder to take home with me, and they're like, you can't talk about the show except with people that are here. And it was just whatever, so ridiculous.
That was crazy.
Obviously, like all my friends at USC, pretty much all of them were there, so
Yeah.
they knew it. But I could not and did not want to tell, like my friends Gabe and Obi and the man behind the camera, back home. So I just told you guys, I was like, hey, like February 18th, like I would tune in. Like I don't know, like heard it's a good episode.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
heard good things about it.
yeah. I remember hearing that. I remember being on the other side of that when you were kind of given those kind of like big, oh yeah, you guys should watch Price is Right. We're like, what a weird thing to say. Like I remember like reading that being like no.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
but people started to think like, oh, like is this for real? And then like we saw it, and then we could kind of talk about it. But yeah, it definitely is crazy. And so correct me if I'm wrong. So you after all of that, you came home with the backyard like fire pit thing, right? Or fireplace thing.
No, that was I'm trying to remember. So I came home like with the folder with all the information, and eventually
Right.
'cause I didn't tell my parents either. Eventually, it was like Christmas Eve. I eventually like sat down with my whole family. I'm like, listen, like I gotta tell you guys this, like just for tax implications. I'm like, Dad, you gotta take a look at this. Like I don't fully know like what I just agreed to.
Right.
And so I whatever tell them. They're like all into it, and I don't think I got the fireplace shipped to me until the summer.
Okay.
Because I think they had to wait until this was recorded in November. It premiered like late February. Yeah. And then so I don't think I got it until I was back home for the summer. But yeah, I mean it was hype, whatever. Obviously at USC we scheduled like a big like watch party in the dorms. My parents threw like a like all my had like a bunch of like family friends over, and like they all watched it together. But I don't remember if it aired earlier on the East Coast or something, or if like we had classes or something that like basically we had to like we had to record it and like watch it like an hour later at USC.
Okay.
And I remember I'm in the gym with one of my friends like as it's like airing, and we're like talking about like like really excited to watch it, like gonna be fun. All of a sudden like my Twitter is like blowing up. I'm like what the hell is this? And I'm looking at like people are like texting me like, yo, like is this you on the Price is Right now? Like they're getting like tweeted at by like people I like barely know from high school. Be like, I know this guy on the Price is Right now. And I'm like, wow, I barely know anyone that watches The Price is Right, and like am not expecting like other than my like immediate friends who like knew it was kind of happening. Like I'm not expecting just random people to be seeing this. I'm like, what's going
Right.
on? Hop on Twitter and Instagram, and Barstool USC is like, I'm all over Barstool USC. They're like Trojan gets his fucking heart ripped out.
Yeah, ripped out of his
Yeah.
chest.
Yeah. And I'm like, geez. And then all of a sudden, like, yeah, like actual Barstool, like not even specifically USC, writes an article on it. I didn't know
Right.
they were in the business of writing articles on game shows. Didn't know this was something they do. But I'm seeing this. I'm like, holy crap! I'm like, I cannot believe this is happening. Like, people are letting you know.
That's
And
crazy.
so that was fun to get a little bit of clout for like a couple hours.
Definitely.
And then we watched it with my friends. It was a great time. Still got the fire pit out back. You know, you use it every summer. It's a lot of fun. Great
That's awesome.
experience. Still like unbelievable that it happened.
Well, yeah, I mean,
But,
also just I knew, I mean, as I mean, like as your friend and same with Obi, I feel like we were kind of on the same wavelength with like we knew kind of some of the details, but I'm learning a lot of new stuff now, which is like super interesting. Like the craziest part about the story to me is like, as you kind of alluded to at one point when you're talking about it, is like there were like it wasn't like smooth sailing in terms of like, oh, like you get
No.
there and then like it's like an easy day, then you just get picked. It's like, oh great. It's like you almost didn't go because you almost slept through it.
Right.
You almost didn't get to go in because you were basically gonna graciously be like, oh yeah, I don't really watch you guys seem like you care more, like whatever. So like almost didn't go like originally. Then when you get there, you almost didn't even get to go in, and then to be like where you were at the end, that's just like it's just yeah, I would be the same way. My heart would be racing. I'd be like how's this happening? Like
Right. And plus, I just like happened to look up. Like the only question I prepared for was like, "What's your favorite game?" And that happens to
Right.
be the question he asked me. Like, if you asked me any other question about the show, like I would have been like totally
Real.
lost, and you would have been like,
Right.
"Whatever, screw this
Yeah.
guy." Like I just happened to look up the Plinko, and I can win cash.
Yeah, it's like, oh, who's your favorite old like past contestant? You're like,
Yeah, exactly. Like yeah, literally name any other thing, and I would have been like deer in headlights.
Yeah.
I know it was like a just perfect strokes of luck, like every way.
Right.
You think
And
if you would have won, you like, would you have been a humble winner? You think, or you think you would have been a fucking asshole? Be like, yeah, fuck you, motherfucker.
I mean, I would have you know, like whatever, hugged or like shook hands with her. I would have been good. But I mean, I would have been like electric, especially if my
Yeah.
friend told me that 200, because they also like they were prepping my friends like they were ready to storm the field. Like they had them
Yeah.
like
Right.
holding them ushers, like holding them back, like they're like ready to get on
Right.
there. Like especially if I did like the 250 and all of a sudden I just want a car, like a trip to New York City, a trip
Yeah,
to
just bad shit.
Ibiza, like everything. Like I would have been fucking crazy. I would have been like going nuts on the camera. They would have stormed the field. They said they were like getting ready to like hoist me up, and we're gonna be like walking around.
That would've
It
been
would have been
sick.
like so awesome.
Dude, totally, yeah. Oh
But
my
I mean,
God.
I was happy to be there. The Barstool article, if people want to read it, they talk about the potential that it's like rigged because they mentioned like that she was like just under the 250 and that like I was like really close and they like
Mhm.
managed to do it where like she didn't win both, but I also didn't win. I don't think it's rigged. I don't think she was like a part of big game show.
Yeah.
I think she just happened to hit a right guess. I actually found out later when I was signing contracts next to her that her mom won a car also like 2 years earlier.
On the Price
So
is Right.
on the Price is Right also.
Wow.
Dude, what on
So
earth?
runs in the family, I guess.
It
for
definitely
both
runs
of
in the
us.
family.
But yeah, that was great for her. She was really happy, and she was a gracious winner as well.
Yeah.
She was real nice about
I
it.
mean, based on what we've heard today, it kind of seems like I mean, it's ridiculous, but like with the contestant you faced in the showcase there, and then also like the quick anecdote you had about how your dad has been, you know, on game shows and also almost on other game. It's like apparently it is just one of those things where like it may run in the
Run in the
family.
family,
I mean,
yeah.
either way.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is crazy.
If you have a kid and he doesn't get on a goddamn game show, it's a shame.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's gonna be like college applications here, like game show apps, like up here. Like,
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, what a great story. I mean, like I said, there's only so many people that get to like not only The Price is Right, but just generally be on that kind of reality TV game show type scenario where it's just like that's so cool. That's such a unique situation, and like I can't even imagine, like you said, like kind of like going about your day, but also too like not only how you got there, but like when you are there, as you mentioned, like you're getting like whisked away, like all the time, and like people are in your face, like getting you all like ready to go. Like, do they have to like powder you up or put any like TV makeup and all that stuff?
nah,
on you?
no makeup. I guess I'm just that good looking, but
Yeah.
nah,
Yeah, there you go.
I just think
Yeah,
yeah,
There you
they
go.
were
Kind
just honestly the only thing they cared about. They're like, you're smiling, you're laughing, you're clapping.
Mhm.
What you're doing, like you're sitting here, like that's what you're doing. I'm like, all right, I got. And so like, if you watch the whole episode back, I look like an idiot half the time. So I'm like clap it up,
Right, yeah.
Like It's just like the guy behind me is like spinning the wheel and it lands on like a 30. He's like, fuck. I'm like, great job, like keep it up.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta do the attitude, but yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and it was obviously like really hard, like not telling everybody. Like once I like
Right,
got back,
right.
like I wanted to text you guys and be like, "You're never gonna believe what just happened."
right.
Oh yeah,
It's definitely tough keeping that secret for those like long 4 months, 3 months.
yeah. But I mean, I will say too, I mean, this is related, but kind of after the fact. But yeah, I mean, we got in because like that aired February 2020, and
Mhm.
like obviously COVID happened soon after that, and we couldn't hang out with our home friends inside much at all really during COVID. And so we did get some good use out of that fire pit that you got from then in the winter months actually of 2020 back in like December and stuff like that. We'd have some fires and huddle around that thing. So
Yeah.
always too. So what a great story. So yeah, I mean,
Shout out Price is Right. Shout out Drew. And
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
shout out that gracious winner.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So
All
great
that.
first guest,
Should have been
great
my friend.
first story. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, definitely heartbreak, but great first story, great first guest. So we're actually gonna have Ethan stay on with us here. We're just gonna do a couple last things here. The second of our two little fun segments that we're gonna do. We're gonna do a little draft for you guys. We have three contestants today. We're gonna do a little snake draft, back and forth between the three of us. The topic of today's draft is going to be the draft of U.S. states in terms of how much that we would want to live there. We're gonna just for the sake of getting some different answers in there and stuff like that. We're gonna take out some of the states that we frequent, based on living in the Northeast and stuff like that. So no New York. We're all from New York, and then no other New England classic Northeast states. So no New York, no Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire. So nothing up there in the immediate Northeast, but everything else is fair game. Just so we can kind of hear some kind of new takes, I guess you could say, on states that we maybe don't frequent as much. So, Obi, I'm gonna have you actually go first here, and then we'll go
Wow.
with Royka, and then we'll go with me, and we'll kind of snake it.
Okay, I don't know. I didn't know if I wanted to go first because I mean I got my notes, but there's a lot of states that are like I would live there, but they also suck in some ways.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I'm gonna take it. I mean, it's nice, some bad parts, but I'm gonna take California. I've
Yeah.
been there a bunch. My uncle used to live in San Francisco. I've been to LA, been to San Diego. I've been to all the Sands, Jose, and all of them, and
All the
it's
sands.
just a good state. It's warm all year round.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've been to like Dodger Stadium, San Francisco Stadium. They got great stadiums and all that for
I would love to
sports.
go
Been to
there.
a lot of events. So I mean, California is going to be my number one pick.
All right. Yeah. Fair.
Yeah, and I think that's the right pick. Smile.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
I'm
so
gonna
too.
I'm gonna agree with you there. I think even
Yeah.
just variety, like LA, like totally different vibe than San Francisco. Then you
Oh,
got even
definitely.
Northern California. I think you got everything. I think you have everything you want there. It's a great
Yeah.
pick.
Totally. All right, Royka, you're up
Um,
here.
that was number one on mine, but I'm gonna go Colorado here.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
a good friend of ours that now lives in Colorado. I've been there once or twice. I'm a big skier personally, so I love having access to that. But I think just you hear a lot of good vibes about Colorado. Maybe I guess the Nuggets are actually doing great right now though. So sports, you got your sports and all the big four there. Be a good
Right.
time. I think I'd have a blast out there.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
great
well,
state.
that's a great pick, honestly. That's definitely if you're going the route that's like more kind of like scenic and like naturey, I think, and like
Mhm.
generally speaking, I think that's honestly probably the best pick in terms of outside of the Northeast and maybe even including that. It's just such a great state. So, all right, my first pick, my third pick overall, my first pick. There's a couple. I have back to back here, so there's a couple routes I could take. I think I'll take. I'm kind of biased here, but I'm gonna take South Carolina off the board.
Yeah.
I love South
Yep.
Carolina so much, and like it's warm most. I don't mind the 4 seasons. That's one thing I actually like about the Northeast, but I do think South Carolina. I love the weather there when it's like in the winter months. I was there in February with Obi, and it was nice. It was like 60. It was like definitely warm enough where you could like go outside and be very active, but not like be like dying in the summer heat. Sometimes
Right.
the one downfall of South Carolina, honestly, sometimes when I'm there in the summer and it's like humidity of 90% and it's already like 9 degrees and you're just like, Jesus, like I can't even
Mhm.
stand this. So, but I love South Carolina. There's so many different parts to it. and so many different kind of cities and neighborhoods you can go to, and I do like it down there. So I'm gonna go that for my first pick. For my on the snake for my second pick, fourth overall. This is tough, honestly. I hmm, I'm between a couple here. I think I'm gonna go with, and this might surprise some people, but like this is a state that I've always wanted to visit. I actually have never been there, but I would love, I think, to live there. I'm gonna go with the state of Washington.
Yeah, yeah,
And
that would I had
and
that.
maybe specifically Seattle, but I don't know. That's definitely up there. But like I think I've heard. I mean, it does get rainy there, but like I do think the weather's cool. I think there's a lot to see in the Pacific Northwest. So I really I would love to live there. That's gonna be my second pick.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah, I like that as well. That was on my short list too.
It was also on my list.
I'm gonna follow up Gabe's strategy of going to a state you hadn't been to before. Never been here. Would like to go. Although I understand visiting a little bit controversial. I don't know how they feel about me moving in, but I'm gonna go Hawaii. I'm gonna go great state of Hawaii.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, okay.
Think that'd be great to live there, a little island time, get away from it all. Can't beat the weather, can't beat the environment, can't beat the vibes. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go there as my number two. Totally different vibe than Colorado. I feel like with the snow and
Oh
the
yeah.
and the warmth, but that's gonna be my number two pick today.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
pick. Um, let's see. A lot of my picks have already been taken. I had Colorado, South Carolina, and Washington. Didn't even think of Hawaii, but that would be a
Yeah,
great
me
pick.
neither. That's a miss probably for me.
Yeah.
But,
I love this state. I've been there many times. My uncle also used to live here. Been there many times with Gabe as well. I'm gonna take Virginia. I
yeah.
just love the vibes. Love Virginia. I mean, it's people might not think like it's a huge state. I mean, driving from the top of that
Oh,
thing to the
yeah.
bottom when we go to Israel, like you're in Virginia for 5 hours. I mean, it's a big state. Just the scenic area, especially where like Gabe's grandparents live, it's just really nice. I've been to like my uncle used to live in Charlottesville. Great little town.
Great city.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take Virginia with my first one here, and then snake it back with me.
Yep.
Um, I mean, I don't know how I do here, but I mean, it's a great state. I've seen a couple shows lately that revolve around it. I'm gonna go Texas.
Yeah. Okay.
Texas.
I don't hate that
Yeah.
take, honestly. Yeah.
No, yeah.
I mean
Smiling
Dallas,
got
Houston.
California and Texas in there.
Yep.
Yeah, Dallas, Houston. I mean San Antonio. I mean they got it all in Texas. Probably hot
Yeah.
as hell. Probably a lot of cowboy
Yeah.
boots around, but like
But I
so
think you can pull
I don't know
off.
how I would do, but
Yeah, you
Texas
could
seems like a
Obi.
cool place to live. So I
Oh,
think
you
I'm gonna
can,
take Texas.
you can get a horse. I can see you on a horse with some
Yeah,
cowboy
I
boots.
think I think I think you can
Maybe.
definitely play cowboy for sure.
Yeah,
You think?
absolutely.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna order boots with some spurs, maybe a cowboy hat, get a saddle, maybe find a
Yeah.
wild
Yeah.
horse, and I'll fill you in on that next episode. See how I'm doing with the cowboy.
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds good.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, so I was thinking I had Virginia and Texas kind of locked and loaded. Virginia for the same reasons Obi said. Texas, yeah, just I feel like people say good things about it. So I'm going to
Mhm.
kind of go similar, not quite Virginia, but I'm going to go Maryland here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
For similar vibes, mostly I'm going access to. I don't know if DC would have counted in this, but I want that access to the District
yeah,
of Columbia. I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys have been there many times. One of my favorite cities in the
Yeah,
Union.
I do love it
yeah.
there.
It's a great
A
city.
lot of fun. Always shit to do there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My brother lives in Arlington, just outside. So I'm gonna go Maryland, and I'm gonna go that. I'm actually happy over Virginia because I'm gonna get some sports teams. I'm gonna get your Baltimore sports teams.
Yep, you are.
Virginia.
Right, that's
That's the one
true.
thing. That's the one thing Virginia's lacking
They're
is they don't
lacking.
get they don't
And
get
they're a
sports
big
teams there.
state too. They're a big
Yeah,
state for no like
Yeah,
no
that's
fucking
100%
team.
true.
but yeah, I'm gonna take my select to Maryland.
All right,
That's a good
yeah,
pick.
I'm between two here. I'm kind of there's one like well, I have two picks. So there's one
Yeah,
that I
good thing you
think
got two picks.
yeah. Well, no, I'm between two for the second one. I have the first one locked and loaded. My first one is gonna be the state of Florida. There is a
Yep,
lot of there is a lot
I
of
was
like
taking it next.
tomfoolery that goes on there, but generally speaking, I mean, it's a good state.
Oh, for sure.
I've been down there a couple times. I actually haven't been. I mean, Florida's humongous. I've been to Orlando a bunch when I was younger. Briefly Miami, but like nothing. I didn't really get to experience that city. But no, Florida is decent weather, a lot to see, a lot to do, big state. So I'm gonna take Florida. And then this is where I was between two. I think I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go like the kind of like scenic route here for this pick because I have a lot of like warm places and I kind of want to scenic. So I'm gonna take Wyoming off the board for my 4th pick.
Beautiful locale.
Yeah, they got the Grand Tetons and the Yellowstones there, I believe. And so it's like there's a lot of stuff to see there, and it's beautiful there. And I already have, Florida, South Carolina, where it's pretty warm. So I'm happy with Wyoming there.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. I've been there briefly, drove through it, basically stayed the night. Beautiful locale.
Yeah.
For my 4th pick here, I think I'm gonna have to rely on a city here. I'm gonna go Illinois, and I'm gonna take my talents to Chicago.
I was thinking of that.
Chi-town, yeah.
Yeah. I got a couple friends that live in there now. Soon to be enjoying it. I've been there. Great city. I don't really know what the rest of Illinois has to offer me, to be honest. I think cornfields is the stereotype, but I think I'm having a lot of fun in Chicago. I'm getting away from the warm weather here, but I think I'm having a blast.
Yeah. I'm also gonna go a little different route. I got a bunch of warmer states for sure. I'm gonna go Michigan. I'm gonna take Michigan.
Yep, I like that.
I've always wanted to go to Michigan. I've never even entered the state. Always wanted to Mitten State. I don't even think I've ever come close. I mean, Chicago maybe might be actually the closest I've ever been to freaking Michigan. And and still decently a little far, but I mean it's cold there, right? It's freezing in Michigan, correct?
Yeah, I think it'll get cold.
Yeah, generally. Yeah.
But they got I mean Detroit's all right, but I mean Michigan just seems like a state, the Mitten State, never even been there. I kind of want to go. I don't know if I'd be all right living there, but I definitely want to visit it at one point or another in my life. And lastly,
it's also one thing on Michigan. It's also very interesting because you kind of have the 2 parts of the state. How
you got the mitten and the dog, right? You got the mitten and the dog.
The upper peninsula.
Yeah, I wonder what goes on up there. But yeah,
I don't know. Is there they got a city in there? They got anything? I don't know. But Michigan's going to be my 4th pick. And with my last pick of the night on this draft, I got a couple states left. What would I do best at, I think? Yeah. Probably not good for my health, but I'm gonna go with Nevada, and strictly just because of Las Vegas. I mean, I think I might go obviously broke, but I mean, I've never been to Vegas. I want to go to Vegas really bad. Just to obviously gamble a little bit, but just for the experience. I actually was going to go for my 21st birthday. Plans fell through. I'm now about to be 23. Still haven't made it there, but I'm gonna take Nevada. And hopefully I get an apartment in near Vegas. So not the rest of the state. Maybe what else they got? They got Reno, right? They got Reno.
Yeah, they got Lake Tahoe.
There's some decent spots in Nevada. So yeah, my last pick is gonna go to Nevada. I wanted them on this board. Didn't know if anybody else was gonna take them, so I'm gonna take them myself.
Yep. All right,
yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was definitely considering that in my 5 slot as well. I think Vegas. I'm a Reno fan. Lake Tahoe, beautiful. I fortunately was able to go to Vegas for my 21st birthday. Great time.
Yeah,
great time. Not good for the bank account, but
right.
Sure. I don't think I want a single-handed blackjack, but a lot of fun.
Yeah.
In my 5 hole, I'm gonna kind of throw caution in the wind here. I think state I've never even been close to. I don't know if I've been state adjacent here. I'm gonna go Louisiana. I'm gonna check out New Orleans. Yep. I'm gonna see how it is. Heard good things. I think Gabe's unhappy with something here.
Yeah, that was gonna be my last pick.
Yeah.
I
was thinking Louisiana or Nevada.
And I feel like New Orleans. My mom went there 5 years ago. Hadn't shut up about it. So I've heard.
Yeah.
Excited to go.
I would love. Yeah, that was definitely my pick down to the Bayou. Okay, so now I'm between. There's a couple. So it's my last pick here. I think I'm gonna go with. I thought about Arizona, but it's so hot and dry heat. There's a lot of cool things to do there, Grand Canyon and whatnot. But it's so dry. I think what I'm gonna do honestly is take both Carolinas off the board and go North Carolina as my last pick. I was between Alaska and North Carolina for my last pick after I decided Arizona probably wasn't gonna be it. But I think I'm gonna take both Carolinas. I'll get North and South Carolina. And
nice.
And yeah, I do like both of them. I've only been in North Carolina a few times to actually stay there and enjoy it, but Charlotte, underrated city, and there's a lot to do. Obviously, you got the Outer Banks. You got wherever the hell Rourke is living now. I mean, that seems
Island.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of fun out there. So yeah, I know the Carolinas are a great place to be. So I'm gonna take that. So Yeah, I mean, you can see on the screen here we got the draft. Let us know in the comments who you think won the stage draft.
Yep.
A bunch of good ones. So we're running out of time here. We're gonna take really quick questions. We have a couple here that I've gotten that I wanna ask. First one actually is from a good friend of mine, Eamon in Boston, still living in Boston. He had a question for us today. And that question, very interesting one. If you had to drink one alcohol or alcoholic beverage specifically for the rest of your life, what would it be? And then he also added in that you got to weigh like the can you have 10 of these every time you drink kind of thing. So it could be, and you could just say like, if you're saying like one type of alcohol, like tequila, like that works, but it's also just like you're
That's all you're
having,
drinking.
that with like mixies and stuff like that. But yeah,
Mhm.
alcoholic beverage specifically, like a type of beer, seltzer, whatever, or just a type of alcohol. So, Obi, you can go ahead and tell us what you're thinking here.
Okay. This is actually pretty hard because I'm not the only liquor I could think of would be Jameson, but I'd just be drinking Jameson ginger ale for the rest of my life, I
Yep.
guess. 'Cause I'm not putting that in any other thing.
Yeah.
But I also just don't like if I want a fucking casual drink, I don't want to just randomly have one Jameson ginger on my couch and like be like, oh. So I'm probably just gonna go to beer. I mean, if I'm going specifics on
Not a
beer,
good start, yeah.
I think I would go. Yeah, I mean, at this point in my life, I'm choosing from right now, which I am. I'm going Coors Light. I'm going Coors Light, the Silver Bullet, the Rock of the Mountains. If the mountains are blue, I mean, I'm there. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I,
Absolutely.
I'm also a big fan of Bush. I mean, Bush Light is cheap too. It's cheaper than Coors, but if it's for the rest of my life, I'm only drinking it. I'm going Coors probably.
Yeah, I'm
That's
not
a
a
good
Bush
question though, Eamon. Thank you.
Light. Yeah, absolutely. Roy, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I think my thought process was pretty much right on Obi's. I think I'm gonna have to go beer just for like the hydration aspect of it. Like I
Yeah.
just don't think I could be drinking like a straight liquor or anything. Um, yeah, big fan of Bush. Yeah, I'm not a Bush fan. You see Obi pull up with a 6 pack of Tallboy Bushes these days. It's
Yeah.
never been in my repertoire, but you got to tip the cap. I would have
Yeah,
also probably went Coors. Since Obi took that off the board, I think I'm just gonna go Bud Light.
Yep.
Okay.
It's standard. It's not doing too much. It's not your flashy player, but he'll give you 10, 15 off the bench, which I think is
Oh
very
yeah.
reliable.
Oh, he will give
So
you 10 points.
I'm gonna go with Bud today.
Yeah, it's a great
Easily.
pick.
Yeah, that's a great pick. I'm really it's a great question. I really am thinking about it because I also
Yeah.
feel similar. When I go out, I love to get whiskey sours, but can I drink 10 whiskey sours on like a night with my friends, just like sitting there
Right.
playing poker? I don't know. I don't
If
know.
you want to pass out every night, it's like, do you want?
Yeah,
Do you want?
exactly. So it's like so that's probably not it. I'm gonna go with okay. This is tough. I'm between a couple here. I'm not gonna go the beer route actually. I think I'm gonna go the seltzer route. I think like for me personally, I mean, I like beer, I like seltzer. I do think seltzers are a little more like I mean, beer is so versatile, but for me, like the way I like to consume them, like sometimes I like to drink seltzers when I'm like day drinking more than I
Yep.
like to drink beer. And I think that like because of that and like how I like to see them as versatile, I'm gonna say seltzers, I'm gonna say high noons, but I'll even get more specific and I'll say um like I'll give you a flavor even if we're gonna get really specific. I mean high noon
And
in
you better
general.
not say it. And you better not say it.
Look,
Ooh,
I mean there
controversy
was
here
there was some controversy with the plum high noon.
with
I
the
do love
plum.
it.
Yeah, I tuned in last
It's not
episode.
gonna
Heard
be what
that.
I pick here actually though, because I do think I could get tired of those kind of quickly.
Mhm.
There's a couple on my mind. I'm gonna go with and this I didn't used to think this honestly. It's kind of snuck up on me recently, but they're just so good and I feel like I could drink like a lot of them. I'm gonna go with the pineapple high noon.
Okay.
I love pineapple flavoring, and I definitely would get hungover. But it would probably either be plum pineapple or the tangerine or passion fruit.
Yeah,
Those would be like
tangerine is good for in
tho
both.
those would be my
All the
flavors if I had to pick. So if I had to pick like an alcoholic beverage, it would be like those kind of flavored seltzers, like whether it's tangerine or pineapple or plum. I've recently become a huge fan of the pineapple high noon. And I could drink those, I think, forever. I mean, I definitely would get hungover at one point or another, and it's a lot of
yeah.
carbonation. But it is what it is. I mean, if I had to pick one, I think that's a good like Darty, or you're going to the beach, or you're going to the lake, or you're drinking with your friends in the basement, and you can get them at the bar. I mean, it's easy enough. So
Real
that's gonna
gadget
be
guy.
yeah, that's gonna be my pick. But I mean, high noons, I think, and then generally, I guess you can go with the plum or the pineapple or something like that. But that's a great question, honestly, and it's
Yeah,
a
that was
tough
a
question.
great
It's
question.
like because like especially with alcohol, just as like anything else, like food choices, you want to be versatile. You don't want to eat the same things or drink the same things. It's
Yeah.
like that is tough. So the only other question I had was from a member back in Albany, a member of our home friend community. A question that was asked a while back that they wanted to retouch on, and I wanted to kind of bring back up. It's very simple, kind of like a yay or nay, but you can kind of give a little more if you want. Brush your teeth in the shower ever? Yay or nay? Obi, go ahead.
Have I? Yes.
Mhm.
Is it my normal occurrence? Absolutely not. I
Yeah.
don't like it. If I'm in a rush, I guess I'll do it. Like I gotta get them both done. But no, I like to brush my teeth in the sink in front of the mirror, like to see me brush. And I
Yep.
stare myself in the eyes for the whole like
Mhm.
2 minutes. I do it, and I get in there. I fucking crank sometimes, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. Obi cranking. We're again.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Cranking the
like a
toothbrush.
hard no. I think I've done it like once, but I'm trying to think like I don't even think it would save me time. I think it would honestly take me more time because like
Mhm.
if you're rushing, like you just you save time on the toothbrush. You get it in there. You clean things up. You're not spending the whole 2 minutes. You're not saying the alphabet twice backwards type of
Right.
thing.
Right. Yeah.
You do
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
like, while the shower is like warming up for a little bit. I feel like it works out. Like I feel like I'd be out of whack. Like if I'm like in the shower, like soap in my armpit, like toothbrush in my hand, like
Yeah, yeah,
I'd be putting like toothpaste on my head, shampoo in my mouth. Like I feel like
yeah.
in
Yeah.
that
That's
scenario,
what
like
I was thinking. I
I
was
feel like
also thinking that.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just not coordinated enough, or like it would be too much change for me. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. No. I'm gonna say I hate that. I don't know if people
Yeah.
do this. I don't know. I don't know who asked this question of our friend group back home.
It was back. It was well, it was kind of like an ask big fire
That's big
question,
fire. Yeah.
but
Mhm.
I believe the original it might have been Pat was the
Yeah.
original.
This sounds like might be coming from Pat's brain for sure.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, love the guy. I hope he's not washing his. I hope he's not brushing his teeth in the shower though. I'm anti that.
Even just there, you almost you said washing your teeth. Like
Yeah,
it's
I know. So I have a bar soap in my mouth, toothbrush on my ass. Like it'd be bad. It'd
yeah.
be bad.
No, I actually will also say a hard no here. And I also go as far as to say I've never once done that, and I don't think ever will. As kind of reiterating Roger's point with the hard no here, I they're just it's two different things. Washing your body and washing your teeth. It's two. You need two different arenas for both of those things, as Obi kind of alluded to as well. And yeah, I like to shower up, and then I like to brush my teeth, and then
Right.
hit the road.
Oh,
So
so
yeah,
your
I'm gonna brush
your
my teeth the
shower
second
first.
I like.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll hop in the shower. Well, I
Wow.
mean, unless I'm yeah, I mean, if I'm showering and brushing my teeth in both the same sitting, I shower and then I brush my teeth right before I leave the door.
Yeah. I usually brush my teeth within 5 minutes of walking out the door.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
that's
I'm brushing my teeth like immediate, like first thing I do when I wake up, like brush my
gotcha.
Oh,
teeth. Like,
really?
you know.
I eat
Yeah.
like I'll eat breakfast and do all that before, and then I'll brush after that.
Hmm.
Yeah, it kind of depends on the morning's a little bit more difficult for me. Like I'm thinking more night, but morning, yeah, morning's always out of whack if I don't have my energy yet. So it's
Yeah.
sometimes it's different, but
And
yeah,
it's different, like on a weekend versus like you're going to work. Like like I feel like a weekend I might
yeah.
wake up something then brush my teeth after. But like I feel like just my routine of going to work is like brush my teeth is like gotta get it done ASAP.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And before we wrap this up, like just another quick question here. Now that I'm thinking about it, like you guys would say, what do you think? You're in the less than 5 to 10 plus range of taking showers. How long is your shower usually?
I'm 5 to 10. I'd say
I'm definitely 5
I'm
to
pretty
10.
confidently. I'm definitely not under 5 most times.
Yeah.
No,
Like
no.
like I can like if you want me to hit 10 plus, I'll give you 10 plus. Like
Yeah.
trust me.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely like a standard. I'm probably 5 to 10 range.
Yeah.
I got a lot of things to wash. I gotta wash my beard. Like I got a whole bunch of different shit I gotta do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm in there definitely. I can call it 10 plus. I might honestly do that, but like if I gotta get out of there, I can give you a 3. I can give you a 3. Get in there, body wash, shampoo, condition, get the fuck out.
Right.
I can give it.
I'm gonna be
Most
totally
showers I like to stand in the fucking water for like the first minute and a half just to wake up. Like I'll just stand there and do
Yeah.
nothing. Like just stand there. And then I'll get into my groove and be like, all right, I'm drowning. Like let me wash my body. Like
I'd go as far as to say I don't know. It's definitely happened before when I'm like freaking out, like so late for something. But I genuinely think that I'm such a 10 plus guy, such a 10 plus.
yeah,
guy.
you're a long guy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's gonna do it today. Great episode 3 done and dusted. Thank you, Ethan, again for coming on. First
Of course,
guest of the
thank you for
pod.
having me.
Yeah,
It's an
absolutely.
honor to be here.
We'll have some more guests for you guys coming up. Probably not in the next episode, or maybe not the next two. We'll announce it when it comes about. But yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe this won't be the last you'll see of Roy. But great story from Roy today, and another good episode. This will be out for you guys later on tonight. Let us know in the comments. Like I said, you'll see as our beautiful graphic team in the back. You have our YouTube and our TikTok and our Spotify, which will be coming soon, plugged.
Yeah, let's give it up
Right.
for the man in the back. Give it
Yeah,
up.
absolutely, absolutely. So that's all plugged there. The Spotify, like I said, will be coming shortly, probably episode 5, and we'll let you guys know. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today. And follow me at GabeCap_ on Instagram, and then you guys can plug your Instagram if you wish to. Obi, go ahead.
Yeah, at real.ob. Sorry, I do that every single time. Real.ob on Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even know what mine is, but you don't need to follow me. My name's Ethan, though. It was a good time.
No worries. Yeah, no worries don't follow Rook. Actually, he said he doesn't want it.
Don't worry about it.
If you follow him currently, unfollow him. If you follow him, unfollow him.
All right. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Very excited for where this is going. And like I said, we'll be back shortly with another episode of The Fifth Corner. Signing off for tonight. Thank you guys.